Good evening, everybody. My name is Mike Caluzzi, and I want to welcome you tonight to the webinar that I'm hosting to give you an overview of the Isagenix business model that has allowed me and countless others to obtain a lifestyle of financial prosperity along with living a physical, healthy life and an overall balanced lifestyle. And the goal of tonight is to really walk you through the process as efficiently as possible and to give you a really good overview about what this business is about and how it can help you transform your life or allow you to achieve income from the comfort of your home. Again, my name is Mike Caluzzi, and I work this business with my wife Desiree, and we are four-star directors with Isagenix. And what that means is that we essentially have been able to achieve a six-figure annual income that's growing on a really every day. Our team is growing, and we've been able to build that through the comfort of our home, and we want to be able to offer that same opportunity to you as well. So before we get started, what I'd like to do for everybody is just really to just take a moment to put yourself in a situation where you actually just sit and close your eyes for a moment and think about really what excites you in your life. What things take place in your life, or what could happen where you really would feel empowered. One in which would excite you, where you get up each day and allow yourself to dream again and feel comfortable that you are doing something that is one that brings you personal satisfaction, gives you an opportunity to develop a significant income, and also allow you to really have balance in your life. You know, so many of us are caught up in the rat race, so to speak, of working a tremendous number of hours for somebody in a job, and we're getting paid for what a job is worth and not necessarily what we are worth. So I just ask you to, just as you close your eyes, think about what it would mean to take that dream vacation or be able to save income or earn income each month that would go towards a children's college fund, so you don't have to riddle your children with the crushing college loan debt that so many people are suffering with right now. Or to be able to live without debt, to live free of debt each month, knowing that you don't have to worry about that dreaded credit card bill coming in, that you know that you can pay for things as you go and also be putting money aside for your future. Or have that ability to earn, to buy that dream car of yours or the dream home, or to do like my wife and I. We say goodbye to the corporate world. I've spent close to 20 years as an attorney, working in a variety of different capacities for law firms. I had my own business. I've done real estate development and investing. And let me tell you, it was very trying. I had my own business, but I was like many people in small business, where even though I had a small business, the bottom line it was that I was really a slave to the business itself. It really owned me. I didn't own it. Um, until I was introduced to the power of leverage income opportunities. Quite frankly, I was really playing small and not really understanding the capacity of living the life that I really do deserve, and utilizing a leveraged income as something that I could build an empire for the future. So how are we going to do it? How are we going to build our legacy and our business? Well, we through Isagenix, we have a top tier nutritional system that really addresses all of today's challenges associated with health. Um, we all know that there is a substantial obesity crisis in this country, and that we could really have to take responsibility for and ownership to really help to tackle. And then we have a whole host of folks who are already really on the health bandwagon, who want to really increase their energy and performance. And then you'll see in a few slides how we can capitalize on the healthy aging market. And then also those folks who are looking for an opportunity to create opportunities for wealth for themselves, who are sick and tired of working for somebody else, who do who do want to dream again, and do want to have that opportunity to be self-employed and create their own financial destiny. So we're going to walk through all those things step by step. First, we're going to start with obesity. Um, these pictures, they speak for themselves, and it is no secret. The bottom line is we have 2/3 of all North Americans who are overweight. We have 1 in 3 children who are overweight, and globally we're suffering with a, 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 a tremendous epidemic with over 1 billion overweight adults. And it goes really well beyond the cosmetic issue. I was reading an article from the American Heart Association, and it said that excess weight at a young age has been linked to higher and earlier death rates in adulthood. And perhaps one of the most sobering statements regarding the severity of childhood obesity epidemic came from this former Surgeon General, Richard Carmona, who characterized the threat as follows. Because of the increasing rates of obesity, unhealthy eating habits, and physical inactivity, we may see for the first generation that we will be less healthy and have a shorter life expectancy than our parents. That is something that can be rectified. It can be rectified with people taking responsibility for what the food they're ingesting and the type of nutrition they're putting in their body. Unfortunately, we're really plagued in a society where food is fast, it's cheap, and it's nutritionally bankrupt. You don't have to go any further than any one of drive up and down the streets. They're crowded with fast food restaurants, Dunkin' Donuts, places that are serving food products, but not real food products that are designed to really fuel the pockets, quite frankly, of large corporations, as opposed to provide people with healthy nutrition. And it's showing up obviously in all of our lives. I mean, the impact of fast food, processed food filled with artificial ingredients, GMOs, hydrogenated oils, and processed flour and sugar, corn byproducts. It's really the new norm. So we have to take responsibility for our own good and for the good and well-being of our family to fight it, and to take control and really live our life eating more nutritionally sufficient foods. And on top of the food epidemic and the obesity epidemic, we're also plagued with environmental toxins, and that's one of the fundamental issues that is also addressed utilizing the Isagenix system, because we offer products for people who are able to then battle the environmental toxins. The reality is that the average person, they incorporate or are exposed to, on average, anywhere between 91 to 120 environmental toxins every day, whether it be from the chemicals in the water, the environmental toxins in the air, the pesticides that are sprayed on our food products, or the household cleaning items and the things that are along, people use, cosmetics and cleaning supplies. These are all toxins that have a profound impact on our well-being and our emotional state and our physical well-being. In fact, there was a study that was done by really a DC Environmental Working Group in collaboration with Mount Sinai School of Medicine, where they studied a group of individuals who were basically subjected to everyday chemicals, and when their blood was tested, they was found that there was 91 different types of carcinogens and known chemicals that would be toxic for brain development and to the nervous system, that would have an impact for people with caused birth defects and abnormal fetal development. So the bottom line is we have, again, like the nutrition and the obesity crisis, we also are faced with an environmental toxicity that is having a profound impact on how people feel and live each day. And Isagenix provides us with an opportunity to really counteract all of that, which we'll be getting into in a few minutes. So when you talk about Isagenix, what's great about Isagenix, it provides people with the ability, and it gives you the opportunity to empower people, and it empowers all of us to achieve an optimal lifestyle with using a nutritional system that all of us could use to achieve peak physical condition. So that's a really, really great gift that we are allowed to offer to other folks. And the second tier, which we talked about, is energy and performance. In a few slides, you're going to see where we stand with respect to the market share of the billion-dollar industry that's tied into the energy and performance market. And Isagenix really hit the nail on the head with the quality of their products. That's why the products are endorsed and used by so many top-tier athletes, fitness models, fitness competitors, and obviously professional actors, actresses, and athletes. This is just a quick, snapshot of just a few, but you can see dead center in the middle. We have one of the world's greatest athletes of all time, Michael Jordan, who was an Isagenix customer. So that's another huge area, which again, it's something that you will be able to capitalize in and be able to financially benefit from by offering world-class products to people throughout your circle of influence. And the third tier is the healthy aging market. The bottom line is that the company itself is founded by people who are they practice what they preach. They're products of the products. Kathy Coover, who is a co-founder of Isagenix, she's 61 years old, but as you can see in this photograph here, she looks absolutely fantastic. Why? Because she's a product of the product. She's taking control of her life and her physical well-being, and obviously it shows. Dr. Michael Colgan, if you don't know who Dr. Michael Colgan is, look him up. He has some great articles online. You can check him out on Facebook as well. He has some great value add content. He is on the medical advisory board for Isagenix. He's a biochemist and physiologist and best-selling author. I've seen him in person and speak, and he's fantastic. He provides huge insights and value to the Isagenix team. And then you have Joyce Brooks, and Joyce is really representative of all of us. A person who takes responsibility for herself, for her physical health, as well as her financial health. And she has been able to utilize the Isagenix system not only to look great, but also to earn a significant income. She is one of Isagenix, one of the 124 millionaires of Isagenix. And like I told you about the healthy aging market, quite frankly, it is an absolutely huge market. If you look at the numbers that are prevalent in our country right now, what's happening to our society, we have 50% of all North Americans who are over the age of 50. So as a result, you have a huge market shift of people who are looking to live healthy and prosperous lives as they get older. And that's why the healthy aging market is really going to be reaching up to the $500 billion mark over the next 5 years. Those are some serious dollars that obviously, if you have an opportunity to provide world-class products and a world-class service to folks to be able to capitalize on that market, well, then you're in a great place if that's something, that we can all capitalize on. And again, you think about it, every day there's more than 10,000 baby boomers who are reaching the age of 65, thus creating a fantastic market opportunity for us to capitalize on. And all the solutions that Isagenix offers, they all work synergistically with one another. So I love that about these products because, you're not going to be in a situation where you have a whole plethora of products of all different types of services and different types of areas. Isagenix did it right. You're able to create a branding strategy that is specifically tied to those 4 areas. Weight loss, energy performance, youthful aging, and then the last item is wealth creation. There's no secret as to where we stand from an economic standpoint in our country. While our country is super productive right now because of the technological advances, the bottom line is that we have a tremendous number of people in our country who are riddled with debt, who are unemployed or underemployed, who are it's quite frankly, our society is not set up to be able to compete and retrain people at the rate to which technology is changing. So what happens with these people? These people are looking for answers. I'm sure if you think about the people in your circles of influence, people who who are fantastic people, skilled people, but unfortunately just don't have the opportunity like they once did because of how our economy is changing so rapidly. So these statistics speak for themselves. And I think this is just really purely a smattering of really what the issue is when you talk about the pure number of people who are looking to create wealth and to be able to earn an income, whether it be on a full-time basis or a part-time basis, that will really be able to allow them to live a lifestyle of quality on a long-term basis. So when you talk about wealth, unfortunately, in our school systems, people are not really taught about wealth. People are not given a financial education. There's a system in place that kind of creates worker bees, quite frankly, not entrepreneurs, not people who are savvy to business. And that's quite frankly one of the reasons why, we are in a predicament that we're in. So most people don't really understand wealth. One of the greatest teachers of wealth in our modern age is Robert Kiyosaki. And if you don't know who Robert Kiyosaki is, again, I strongly recommend that you go ahead and reach out and look into who he is. Robert Kiyosaki is one of our country's foremost financial educators. He wrote a classic book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad that really set the new trend to show people about the way towards financial freedom through entrepreneurship, through real estate and leveraged income businesses. And Robert did a great job with simply defining what wealth is. And you could see it there. The number of days you could survive without physically working and still maintain your standard of living. So looking at that purely very simple example, if you were in a situation where you had people who had expenses of $4,000 a month, and if God forbid you were in a situation where you lost your job or were unable to work or lost your ability to earn income through any series of events, how long could you survive? Well, in this particular example, if a person had a savings of $12,000, well, their ultimate their ultimate net wealth would be tied into 3 months and or 90 days. And statistics do show that most people do not have much of a savings that would allow them to go much beyond 30 to 60 days. And as you're on this call, I give you a lot of credit in order to that you're on this call, because you are taking financial responsibility for your financial future, and kudos to you. And but I ask you, where do you stand with your ability to survive if you were to unearn, if you were not able to earn income? Do you have something in place that would provide you with an ability to create a residual income or a passive income that is greater or at least equal to your monthly expenses? Think about that for a minute, because if you don't have that vehicle, then you know what? You're on the right place at the right time and to be on this call, because this can give you a fantastic opportunity to learn about how I've done it and how so many others have done it, and to show you how there's a simple duplicatable system that you're going to be able to learn that I followed that has allowed me to attain financial security through this business. So when you talk about residual income or passive income, most people, if you don't know what it is, fine. I'm going to just kind of give you a quick summary as to what it is. Passive income is income that comes through the utilization of assets that are producing income for you. So another great financial educator, his name is T. Harv Eker. He wrote a great book called Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. If you haven't read it, I strongly suggest that you read it. It's a great, easy to read, very, very well written book that gives you a great education on what it means, on how millionaires think and how successful entrepreneurs think, to be able to allow for passive income. Now, traditionally, we're talking about stocks, bonds, T-bills, money markets, and interest from savings to allow you to create passive income. But as I just mentioned to you, most people really don't have the type of savings, unfortunately, that would allow for so much of a interest income or dividend income or income from their investments that would allow them really to sustain their quality of living for any notable period. Most people are basically living paycheck to paycheck, hoping to have a little bit to put into their 401k or scrape away to put into some savings. So that's just the nature of the beast. But then you have other scenarios where passive income, where there's businesses working for you. And again, as I mentioned to you, I've been an attorney for close to 20 years and a business owner. And I have had more than my share of real estate investments. And the bottom line is, it could be a very good market, but it's a very volatile business, and it's one that's very risky. One that if you do not know what you're doing, you really can get your butt handed to you, quite frankly, and you can lose your shirt. I've had more than my share of wounds that I've had in the real estate market, particularly in the fall and the collapse of the market in 2008. So, and also with real estate, what do people need in order to get started? They need to have capital to make investments. If you're going to buy an investment property, well, you need that 20% down, right? And then you need funding to make the improvements, and you need reserves. So you're talking about a substantial financial investment in order to really get real estate working for you. And then you think about royalties from intellectual property. Again, wonderful thing, but one that many, many people just truly do not have at their disposal. There's not many people, think about the people you know. How many people you know are really earning income from intellectual property? Not many, unfortunately. But quite frankly, it can be something that can be done through income that you earn and develop through network marketing. Network marketing really is the new face of entrepreneurism for the 21st century. It really does give a person an opportunity to be in business for themselves, but not by themselves, where they have the corporate structure and they have the backing. Oh, excuse me. They have the backing of a large corporation that has been built with a brand and infrastructure that you can basically tie into and lock arms with to be able to capitalize on your financial future. So, historically, when you talked about tying into a business, many folks had entered into franchises. And, franchises are really good, but the bottom line is with franchises is that it requires a tremendous amount of income, of money, capital investment right at the beginning, really simply to get the name on the door, to get the branding or the policies and the procedures in place that say an Allstate or a Huntington Learning Centers allows for. This is a smattering of just 16 different franchises that I pulled off of franchise.com. Take a look at some of these numbers. These are significant down payments to get started. And that doesn't include any of the capital that would be required to operate your business, to get the to get the leases in place, to get the insurances in place, to get your workforce in place, and then of course all of the headaches associated with a traditional business and a traditional brick and mortar business. It's very, very, very difficult, and the average franchise owner only earns about $80,000. So, I mean, if you look at the amount of capital that has to be laid down in order to earn that type of income, I don't necessarily think it's the best route for people, particularly when you think about network marketing and how it has grown over the last 10 to 12 years, primarily because of the advent of social media and technology. It's really brought this industry light years ahead. I know, in speaking with people who are veterans in this industry, I've been in the industry for just about 2 years, and I've learned a tremendous amount, and I've met a lot of great people. But everyone who are the veterans, everyone who's been around, they all say the same thing. Technology and social media has really brought network marketing to the forefront and to a whole nother level. And if you look at these statistics, as far as the performance of network marketing, it is an enormous global industry with $178 billion of revenue, or sales revenue for 2013. And it's going to exceed that in 2014. And what industry dominates? Health and beauty. So, again, right place, right time. If you're in the market right now where you're looking to develop an income and work with a business with a top tier company that provides first class products, and guess what? You are in the right industry. And if you're a woman on tonight's call, well, I give you a tremendous amount of kudos, because guess what? The vast majority of people, 82% of women who make $100,000 or more, do it through direct sales. We got into direct sales through my wife initially. My wife was a pharmaceutical rep. She worked 15 years as a pharmaceutical rep, completely burnt out through that industry, really had to give up. She literally quit. She literally quit, got to the point where she could not take it anymore. She was working crazy hours. I was working crazy hours as an attorney. We just didn't have, the quality of life was terrible. Even though we were making each respectively six-figure incomes, it wasn't worth it for us because we were just miserable people. And my wife Desiree got us involved, and soon thereafter, I started working and utilizing the products. And sure enough, we partnered up and haven't looked back since. It's been a great, great ride for us. So, like I told you, as the network marketing industry has really stepped up tremendously and has become a fantastic vehicle, obviously, it's starting to get attention from the mainstream financial magazines. This is in publications. This is an article that was posted back in August of 2014 by Robert Lauria, who's a contributor for Forbes magazine. And he wrote an article called "Would You Join a Multi-Level Marketing Company for Retirement Income?" And it was a really, really good article. I strongly suggest you guys Google it and read it over. It's a great, great article. But to really really condense it down to one of the great takeaways was a quote that I have here, that Robert says that there is a seemingly endless debate over whether these companies and programs are legitimate business opportunities or not. So I dug in and got the real scoop. As a result, I believe that the entire industry is poised for explosive growth and can be one of the most significant solutions to America's current retirement savings crisis. That, if you're looking for a glowing, a glowing objective review, well, I mean, there it is right there. And that's one of many. The perception of network marketing, the people who have the wrong perception of it, they're thinking of an old, outdated model that just, quite frankly, it really doesn't exist any longer. Or if it does exist, unfortunately, it's dwindling. We have top billion-dollar companies who are now creating a huge, beautiful, positive market space in network marketing, and it's a fantastic, fantastic time to become a professional network marketer. And as I mentioned to you earlier, I was going to show you some of the dollar signs associated with why the health and wellness industry is really the one you want to tie into, and as to why Isagenix is so good, because we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar industry that is at your fingertips. If you look at weight management and obesity, people are spending 20 billion a year on products associated with weight loss. For energy and performance, 11 billion. And then the biggest one is the anti-aging, which I told you. Look, many of our clients are 50 and over. People who are active, they want to feel good, they want to live good, they want to look good. And that's why they spend the money to buy the high quality products that we offer, and they get on their systems, and they get on the systems, and they stay on the systems because they work, and it becomes a lifestyle change for them. So if you look at the anti-aging industry, you're talking about over $100 billion industry, that we're in right now. And this particular statistic shows by 2015, it can be up to 114 billion. Huge, huge numbers. So like I mentioned to you earlier, yes, there are opportunities out there. There's a host of different companies. And like any other business, you're going to want to do your due diligence, because you want to hang your ladder with the right company. I did my due diligence, whether it be through my background as an accountant, as an attorney. I did my due diligence. And what I did was, instead of banging my head against the wall or trying to question, myself as far as my judgment, you know what I did? I sought out an expert. I sought out an expert to help me, guide me to the right industry. And that expert had indicated to me, quite frankly, there was one company that he felt strongly about, that he invited me to, and that was Isagenix. And I got involved with Isagenix along with my wife Des, and we haven't looked back. And many people ask me sometimes, well, did he recommend you because you were going to get tied into his team? And the answer to that is no. We signed up completely independent of him. He did his job as our consultant to direct us to the right level, to the right company, and we couldn't be happier. So when we talk about the right company, again, this company is built on a very, very solid foundation that the owners are looking to build a legacy in this business. Jim and Kathy Coover, they were lifetime network marketing professionals. These people had excelled and had their trials and tribulations in network marketing, and they retired, quite frankly, but came out of retirement to be able to develop this business with John Anderson, who is a master formulator of a whole host of different nutritional products. If you, again, you Google John Anderson, you're going to find that the man is really a legend in the industry. And when Jim and Kathy had the opportunity to work with John and vice versa, they came together and they knew that what they wanted to do is they wanted to create the right company that was going to create financial stability and create a culture that is going to last for generations, to create legacies for ourselves and our families. And it's worked out. I mean, they're finishing up their 13th year. They're well over the 2.5 billion in cumulative sales. They're really at the 3 billion, the billion cumulative sales mark at this point, and they have a fantastic culture within all levels and age groups. In fact, their son Eric Coover, he's the global director of field development. He holds he is responsible for really growing the industry the company in the young market segment from 18 to 35-year-olds. That is one of the largest segments that's growing currently in our company because Eric has such a fantastic hand on the pulse and finger on the pulse of what's going on in today's society, and it's been really great. So the company's vision, it speaks to their integrity. It speaks to where they came from and where they want to go. They want to create a world health, they want to create a company to impact world health and free people from physical and financial pain, and the largest process create the largest health and wellness company in the world. I mean, you have to think about it. That is it's a great goal, because what do most people want? We all want really the same thing. We need a vehicle to get there. And if we can provide that to people, we can provide people with an opportunity to create financial prosperity, to create an extra, whether it be creating an extra couple $100 a month, $500, $1,000, $2,000 a month and up. The bottom line is the opportunity is here, and if you can do it in combination with living a healthy lifestyle, it all ties into being balanced, and balance is the key to success for short-term and long-term success and happiness in a fulfilled life. And that's what this company ties into, and that was so attractive to me, and I'm sure it's going to be very attractive to you. And the company puts their money where their mouth is. They have a zero tolerance policy for any subpar products. They invest over $2 million each year for the testing of raw materials, finished goods, and third-party testing. Their products are of the highest quality. They meet all of the standards that you would require for the most stringent of consumers who are looking to have products that are naturally sourced, organic. All of our products meet or exceed organic standards. We do fantastic. So these products really rise above many competitors, where there's nothing artificial in any of our products. It's one that you can stand with 100% integrity moving forward to use the products and then actually promote them to people. And the bottom line is, here's a great picture of people who use the products. People just like you and me. People who were just fed up with feeling miserable. That you heard that saying, sick and tired of being sick and tired. These are all everyday people who have leveraged Isagenix, used Isagenix, and have had fantastic results. There is just an endless supply. I mean, truly an endless supply of people whom you can help with this system. And let me tell you, once they get on board and they get tied into the system and the culture, they love it. In fact, 82% of all the people who are in our business first started as product users. So what does that tell you? They believe in the products and they have complete 100% faith in the product because it's worked for them, and they have the confidence to promote it to other folks. So, now we get to the point where, that's a great background about the company, but here's where the rubber meets the road about how you get paid. And the good thing is there's only a few slides here because it's a very, very simple system. How we get paid. Now, before we go there, I'm just going to simply say this company and this business is like any other business opportunity. You get out of it what you put into it. If you treat this business like a business, you'll get paid like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, you'll get paid like a hobby. The good thing is that if you do join our team, you will have every opportunity to develop a business, like I said earlier, for yourself, but not by yourself, to join a winning team that has the leadership and systems in place that you can implement. We are not like other organizations or companies where they are trying to simply, get people or convince or cajole people, pressure them into a situation. We don't operate like that. And you're going to learn and you're going to get part of a team and you're going to learn the simple system that has led to our success and to so many other success. Well, we learn to qualify people. We're just learning to qualify our people. Initially, we're learning to qualify two people who want to purchase the best food in the world, and then we train those two people to qualify to find two people to do the same. And that power of two builds the momentum. And that's really what it boils down to. You're going to be building it's really a team of two, and you're going to be earning um, income off of the business volume of each of those two teams, and that business volume will get paid to infinite levels. There's no break offs, there's no fade outs, which is fantastic. Like I mentioned to you, the Cougars knew what they were doing. They said if they had such a strong vision to be the biggest health and wellness company in the world, they knew they had to pay their people the right amount of income and develop the right compensation plan. And they really hit the nail right on the head. So, you're paid on all product volume, you're paid on all reorders. And what's great is everything is done in real time. So you can go into your back office, whether it be on your computer or on your cell phone, look where your current income is each day. And let me tell you something. As a small business owner and as someone who worked in small law firms, let me tell you, and if I have any small business people in there on this call, I'm sure you've been there where, you've been the last one to get paid because you have to pay the vendors. Or if you work for a company and the boss comes in and tells you, look, we're running a little short on payroll this week, or our cash flow's down, we'll pay you next Thursday. Hey, that's like a punch in the gut. You don't have to worry about that with this company. This company has their financial house in order. They are doing extremely, extremely well, which you'll see in a few slides. I mean, they'll exceed $1 billion in sales next year. We'll do about 700 billion this year. But they pay they calculate their payments daily and they pay you weekly. Monday, noontime is a great day for us because every Monday we get an auto deposit into our bank account for our efforts, and it's a really liberating feeling. So what are you doing? Again, we're going to teach you what you're going to be sharing and this gift to others, and you're going to be qualifying people for your time to see if they qualify for this business. To search out and to talk to people who have dreams, who want to really excel and live their life on their own terms, and also look for people who are looking for those solutions. The name of my webinar is, are you dissatisfied with your current vocation? Because the overwhelming statistics indicate, in fact, recent polls indicate that over 70% of all Americans are dissatisfied with their vocation, and they are looking for new and better ways to improve their vocation at least one time a week. Over 70%. Those are huge, huge numbers. So we have a gift that we're sharing, obviously, to you, and then you can obviously share it to others utilizing our system. As I mentioned to you earlier, you get paid on sales volume, and that's really kind of like the bread and butter, the residual income that gets built over time. And the residual income can be very, very significant. As you can see, you can max out up to weekly earnings where individually you can make $13,500 a week. And then the company, once you get into certain rank advancements as an executive, they actually have a matching program where you can actually double what you are earning each week, where the company will actually do an employee match up to $27,000 a week. And we have people on our team who are doing it. I mean, the bottom line is we are part of one of the fastest growing teams in Isagenix simply because of our systems that have been created that we all follow. And in addition to the income that you earn on the Viome, the company also sets aside $20 million every year front end for product introductory bonuses, rank advancement bonuses, consultant bonuses, and then leadership and holiday pools. You know, we got the end of the year coming up, and we all who have attained certain rank advancements, and we're all part of the holiday pool. It's great. The leadership pool. Let me tell you something. It's fantastic, fantastic to get that extra income. You know, in addition to what we earn each week on our Viome and in our product introductory bonuses, because we, you know, you're gonna, if you follow the system, you're gonna be signing people up, you know, quite regularly, and you're gonna be receiving income. And then obviously when there's leadership pools come into play, beautiful, beautiful additional incentives. As I mentioned to you, you know, you are not going to be in business by yourself. Yay, it's going to be your business, but you are going to have a system and also access to successful leaders. You know, that's what I love about network marketing. You know, where else could you have the opportunity to plug in and listen to a millionaire who is on your team, who wants to see you excel? You know, Alexis Romano, she's got my wife Desiree and I into this business. Alexis is a 7-figure income earner with Isagenix, and she did that she built her business. Quite frankly, in 6 years, she is now 7-figure income earner. She's number 10 in the company as far as income earnings, and she's done phenomenal. We have other fantastic leaders who you will learn from. Great, great entrepreneurs who have been able to leave corporate life behind, who've been able to develop incomes and a business that is now completely well on their way to having complete and utter financial freedom, and one where, quite frankly, they can really do whatever they want. So those leaders are going to be ones who you're going to be learning from. They become your mentors, and you're going to be plugging into the system that we've all created to benefit for you. Proven track record of success. I mentioned to you earlier. The company in itself has done fantastic. And you can see the trajectory of income over the course of the start in 2002 is stellar. 700 million by the end of 2014. They've already talked about that 2015 will be the year where they will be doing $1 billion in sales in one annual year, which is fantastic. So you are in a very, very strong company, very, very with great momentum and growth potential in the future. The company in itself, like I mentioned to you earlier, 124 millionaires that have been created in Isagenix. But what's amazing is that of that 124 millionaires, 24 came in 2014. Think about that. That's a huge percentage of folks who came in, and within 2014, there was 24 people who were in Isagenix who were now $1 million income earners. Number 100 was Alexis Romano, who is our team leader. And, you know, the most recent one is a woman out of New Zealand at the ripe age of 26 years old. She is now a 6-figure income earner. So like I told you, people of all ages, educational backgrounds, it really doesn't matter. If you really are the type of person who has 4 characteristics, we've really narrowed it down to 4 characteristics. If you're somebody who's health conscious, if you're wealth motivated, you're self-directed, and you're coachable. Those are the 4 characteristics that if you have those 4 characteristics, let me tell you, you're at the right place, the right time, and we're poised to help you to really develop a fantastic business. And like I mentioned to you, this business goes outside of the U.S. borders. We are international. We're in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Mexico, Malaysia, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, Puerto Rico, China, and Colombia, with additional growth plans to go into further countries throughout the world over the next several years. So, you know, if you're someone on this call who has connections in any one of these countries, well, guess what? You could start building the business in those particular areas. And you never know where your company goes, by the way. You know, there's people who I know who are from New Jersey, who they didn't know anybody in Australia or Canada. But you know what? Someone who they brought onto their team did. So now they have businesses that are growing internationally. So the company is in momentum. Our team is in momentum. And that is the time when you want to get yourself tied into a company, when we are in momentum, so you can catapult yourself and be part of the system and the success. So really, what would I tell you to do? Like I mentioned to you earlier, if you had those 4 characteristics that I mentioned to you: health conscious, wealth motivated, self-directed, and coachable, I'm telling you, what you got to do is get started now. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Whoever brought you onto this webinar, they cared enough about you to introduce you to this opportunity. Get started with them. After this webinar, reach back out to them. Ask them any questions that you may have, and find out how you can get started today, because it's really, really simple. $559. That's it. That's the entry fee to get you started. And what's great about this company is you get to eat your overhead. I mean, it's a no-brainer. You get to eat the best high-quality food. It's going to assist you to get in fantastic shape. You're going to feel great. It's going to start a fantastic business for you. And you do it for less than, quite frankly, it's a pittance. I mean, think about how much money it takes to start a traditional business these days and all the uncertainty associated with it. Where if you believe in yourself and you know that you can follow a proven system and you could be coachable with a group of leaders, well, then all you need to do is invest $559 to get yourself in business. So I really, really suggest you get yourself started. So, I want to, as we kind of wrap up here, I want you to just think about, the whole adage about when opportunity knocks. And I want to give you a closing thought. Mark Zuckerberg, he's the CEO of Facebook. He invited 5 people to his Harvard dorm room years ago to discuss a business opportunity. And of those 5, only 2 showed up: Dustin Moskovitz and Edward Savarin. Those 2 people had the insight, and they were smart enough to see that there was a vision that Mark Zuckerberg had. Now they're billionaires. So the point is that the financial future of your financial success and your future is truly up to you. You want to join a company that's going to put you in the best position to achieve your financial goals, and you could do it while you're helping others achieve a life of health, wealth, and fitness. It's extremely rewarding on all levels. So, I want you to, now's the time. So I really would want to thank you and take the time to say thank you for taking the time on this Thursday to listen to this webinar. Again, I strongly encourage all of you to reach out to the person who invited you onto this webinar to get yourself started. They'll answer any of your additional questions and to get you, on through the road of success. Now, if anyone has any questions for me, this is my contact information. Feel free to reach out to me. Here's my email. You can reach me at michael@healthwealthandfit.com. Shoot me an email. Say, hey, Mike, I was on your webinar. Here's my question, or here, whatever your concerns, questions, comments are. I'd welcome to hear it, and I will be gladly respond to you. And if you want to connect with me on Facebook, by all means, do so. Reach out to me on Facebook. You'll find me under Michael J. Caluzzi. My wife and I also have a business page called Health, Wealth, and Fit. You can find us there, and we also have a website, healthwealthandfit.com. So again, I want to thank you all for being on tonight's webinar, and I wish you all a great night, and I look forward to connecting with you all soon. So good night, everybody. Have a great evening.